Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. This is Empowered Gems Tarot, and today we're going to be answering the question, what is their issue with you? Blunt AF. So this reading can apply to any type of connection out there, whether it's romantic, platonic, work, family, any connection where there is maybe a little bit of tension, or there have been problems or confusion, the energy's weird, and you're just looking for a little clarity on kind of why this person has a problem with you, or kind of why they're acting the way that they're acting toward you at this time. Remember that this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so messages will vary in how specifically they may resonate with you or your specific personal situation. So as a best practice, if anything that I am saying in the reading feels confusing or feels like it doesn't really fit your personal situation, take those as indications that those are not your messages today and that they're meant for somebody else out there in the collective who's watching the same reading as you. If you guys did want to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website is in the description box down below. Personal readings are a great way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal energy and situation. So if the general readings on YouTube or on Patreon aren't really hitting it for you, personal readings are always a great option for more individualized guidance. Okay, so with that being said, we are now going to go ahead and select your reading. We have a choice between 3 options today. If you're drawn to reading 1, we're working with the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot and this sardonyx crystal. If you're drawn to reading number 2, we're working with the Haunted Mansion Tarot and this Bumblebee Jasper crystal. And if you're drawn to reading 3, we're going to be working with the Everyday Witch Tarot and this black tourmaline crystal. So I want you guys to take a deep breath. Think about your person and what their issue is with you, what you need to know to get the clarity that you need. When you're ready, select the crystal or the deck that you're feeling the most intuitively connected to. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time to choose. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hello there, Group 1. If you guys were drawn to the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot and this sardonyx crystal, this is going to be your reading. So today we're looking into your person's issue with you, and we're going to be looking to see kind of where they stand energetically with regard to your connection, and maybe why they're acting the way that they're acting toward you at this time, okay? So let's kind of start with the overall energy. I want to look at kind of where they stand energetically, and then we'll get a deeper dive with the tarot and oracle cards. So your person energetically right now is in the archetype of the self and hiding your true self. Wow. Okay, let's talk about it. Group 1. Let's pull this forward a bit more. So, okay. The first thing that I want to say to you, Group 1, is that I just really feel like this person's issue has more to do with them and their own inner world than anything that it has to do with you. I already feel like there's something about you that really kind of triggers this person. I feel there's something about you that could be holding up a mirror to an inauthentic way that they are showing up, because the self talks about wanting to be living authentically, but this person is showing up as hiding their true self. And so I feel like the way that you guys might experience this person could be a little bit disjointed, where maybe sometimes you kind of get a glimmer of who they are and you might feel that connection with them, but then other times they might feel really guarded or blocked, or almost like you're kind of hitting a wall. And a lot of this has to do with their own fears and insecurities about exposing who they really are to you. We also have the sardonyx crystal here, and just intuitively tapping into the energy of this crystal, the color orange is really significant. We have orange here and a lot of really bright, beautiful colors here. I feel like there is something about you, Group 1, that is very energizing to your person. Like, I do think that you're activating something within them that might feel a little uncomfortable or triggering. Okay. It's like you're activating something about them that they don't want to necessarily show outwardly, but it's who they are innately inside. So this could be like attraction to you. This could be something creative with all the colors here. It really could be anything. We're going to get a little more insight, but like, I just want you to know, like, I don't think that this is really about you. I think this is more about them and their inner world and some of the issues and discomfort that they have with showing up as their authentic self. Okay. So now we're going to take a look at their energy versus the connection versus how they view you, so we can kind of understand what the issue is. Okay. So Spirit, what is this person's true issue with group 1? What is their issue with my group 1 viewers? Why is group 1 feeling like a weird vibe here? What's going on? So show me this person's energy toward group 1. We have the 9 of Cups. And show me the joining energy here of this connection. How do they see the connection? More orange coming up. We have Temperance. And how do they see group 1's energy? What's their issue with group 1? Please, Spirit. Judgment in reverse. Okay, and then we also have the Hermit at the bottom. So it's possible that maybe you guys have pulled back your energy, and that could be difficult for this person, because I feel like with that 9 of Cups, they get a lot of like emotional validation from being around your energy. And with the Judgment card in reverse and the Hermit, there's some sort of like level of reckoning or some sort of decision that I feel like you guys have made, where it's like, instead of rising up with this person from their perspective, you've pulled back. Let's see. What's pile 1's person's true issue with group 1? Please, Spirit, let's get some clarifying energy here. Show me the energy, their energy toward my viewers. We have surprise. Show me the joining energy. Ooh, the energy of this connection. Temperance and how they're seeing my viewer with Judgment in reverse. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, we're gonna get more cards here in a moment, but let's just kind of start here. Okay, so as I was saying in the beginning, you guys, a lot of this is more about them than it is about you. I think that this person does not have a lot of clarity when it comes to this connection and like what it is that they feel and think and what's triggering them about it, because we have delusional energy coming up here. So they're not seeing something about this situation clearly. With the Temperance card being here, this is about like balance and moderation and patience and kind of like taking our time. Let's look at this. This is interesting, right? Because it almost looks as if she's suspended above the water, ready to kind of jump in and take the full plunge. But right now she's suspended in the air. And look at all these butterflies that we have here over top. Butterflies symbolize change. So I do feel like this person is wanting to make some sort of change in the dynamics of this connection at this time, but they are kind of in a place where they're wanting to do it moderately, slowly, and for some reason there's something about it that they're not fully clear on. Okay, I think there's a lot of projection that this person does toward you, group 1. They see your energy as kind of like free of them. Like maybe this is something that they envy in you, because you know, when I think of being free, I think of being authentic and real, and it's like you guys have kind of pulled back your energy from their perspective with Judgment and the Hermit. And it's almost like where you are able to make decisions or judgment calls that feel like really authentic to you. This person, I think, struggles with that because they struggle with being authentic to themselves. Something that's interesting here too is like, do you guys notice the synchronicity with the 2 cups in both of these cards? She has a lot of cups here. Obviously, this is the 9 of cups. So I will tell you guys, like, this person does feel really fulfilled emotionally in your presence. I don't know if it was something that they were really expecting to feel from you. Like, there's just something about your energy that I think is very supporting and validating to them emotionally. Right now, I don't know, you guys. Like, I don't really see them as having like an issue fully. But I can see why you guys would be coming to this reading because I do feel like the vibes are a little bit weird. Like, there's an element of insecurity here. This person is not showing up as being their true authentic selves with you. I think they're very energized by you. They get fulfillment and validation from you. But when it comes to the connection and like the pace of things and like integration, they're not seeing it clearly. And I feel there could be an issue here with reciprocity at times as well, because the 9 of Cups is an energy where like we're more about ourselves, we are content emotionally on our own. And it's not necessarily an energy of reciprocity here, right? Like, she's got all of these cups to herself. She's not necessarily going out of her way to share them with somebody else, right? And so I'm wondering if they're not seeing the balance of things clearly when it comes to you. And maybe you guys pulled back your energy because you felt like, oh, they're like taking advantage of my kindness, or they're always like about their own immediate fulfillment, but they're never about replenishing my cup. You know what I mean? So let's keep going. Let's come here next. What else can you tell us about group 1, Spirit, and this person's issue? Toward my group 1 viewers. We have daydream, optimism, illusion, and delirer. Okay. Yeah, it's like they're kind of doing a lot of daydreaming and there's like a lot of inaction, like sitting around and experiencing your energy, but not really reciprocating, right? This is kind of aligning with that delusional energy for the connection, the way they see the connection. Show me how they view this connection, please, Spirit, with temperance and delusional. Oh my gosh, we have sweetheart, pure, unconditional love, and beloved. I think this person, like, yeah, see, and then we have indulgence. Like, there's something that they really get out of your connection emotionally that I don't think that they're fully reciprocating. This person could be somebody who's like a wolf in sheep's clothing in a way, you guys, because like, they don't really come across as like intentionally malicious, right? Like, this could be the type of person that's lovely to be around. Like, I see this beautiful, vibrant energy in their truest form of themselves. But I think that like they may not be consciously aware of like how they're showing up could be very draining or depleting for you, Because I definitely feel like you guys have like freed yourself of this situation from their perspective. Like, you're not really... I don't know. Show me more, Spirit. How are they viewing group 1's energy toward them? What's their issue? Ooh, yeah, look at this. Overload, accessment, obligation, and overwhelm. You're coming across as being like really drained. Like, maybe you pulled back your energy because you've been really drained or overloaded in this dynamic where they're taking advantage. They're kind of sitting in stagnation, benefiting off of your energy, but they're not replenishing you back in return. But this person like holds a lot of care and love for you. Maybe you and this person have a child together, or you could be connected by children for some of you. I always think too of like like a baby or pregnancy can metaphorically symbolize like creative ideas. So maybe for some of you, this is like a work connection and there's some sort of creative thing that you guys are connecting over. But it's like they do kind of have this Delulu like fantasy about you. And I think that they really think very highly of this connection and they think really highly of you in this dynamic. But like, they're not being super self-aware about the fact that they're not reciprocating here. Right? And even if they are, because it's like they are kind of seeing you as being a little overwhelmed here or burnt out, it's like they're not really doing anything to fix it. You know what I mean? Again, they're benefiting more from you than you're benefiting from them. And maybe I'm wondering if this person's not being honest with themselves about that. So what else can you tell us, Spirit, about these dynamics between group 1 and this person and what the issue is here? Show me this person's energy toward group 1. We have future focus. And show me how they're viewing my group 1 viewer. Critical junctures. Interesting. I mean, I don't know, guys. This person's feeling like really positive about where things are headed. Strong sense of self, feeling hopeful, awakened, being aligned with the connection, positive outlook on life and focusing on the future. They see you as being at a place of like getting ready to take a major leap of faith or risk in this connection, a big decision or a big turning point here. And maybe that's where this judgment in reverse is coming from. I don't know. I feel like they see you guys as being like really overloaded, overworked, and wanting to kind of be free or detached from things. But they're like over here really focusing on the future in this like Delulu energy. I don't know, you guys. Like, I know that we're trying to answer the question of like, what's their issue with you? I don't really think they have an issue. I just think that they are not super self-aware or like in tune with like what's actually motivating them deep down. Like, they're avoiding maybe uncomfortable truths about themselves and the way that they're showing up and the way that they're siphoning off of your energy. And they're not seeing this connection clearly, because I can see it very clearly. There's like a really big imbalance with this relationship, right? Like, they're over here totally self-sufficient, daydreaming and visualizing the future. You're over here like really burnt out and just kind of wanting to be free of things. And I just don't think this person maybe realizes like how like their vision could be really draining to you if you guys are already overworked or overloaded in your life or within the dynamics here. But yeah, they care a lot about you. I just don't think they're seeing things clearly right now. Like the dynamics here. I don't know that they're seeing it clearly. So group 1, let's get you some advice. Advice for group 1, Spirit, on like how to move forward within this connection. Lovers in reverse. It's not aligned, you guys. We also have the Hermit, yeah. And 6 of Swords. I think Spirit is saying you need to go where the water is calm, right? And there's something about this connection that I think has been really disruptive to your peace. There's a lack of alignment here. You guys are not on the same page. It's so clear, even looking at this spread, like this person is like in a great place over here. They see that you're not in the best place, but they're holding on to some sort of delusion that like you guys are going to be able to come together in balance and harmony. That's not really accurate to the reality here. So I think Spirit is saying for you, my viewer, it might be time to kind of like separate yourself from this situation a little bit so that you can get clarity and rest and rejuvenation and move away from the things that are causing you to feel turbulent. And it's interesting, you guys, because I don't really feel, again, like this person is malicious. I just think that they are kind of about themselves right now. Their own emotional fulfillment, their future, their dreams, their vision. This person might be very creative as well. You know, all the orange energy that's coming through. And it's also possible that they're not being the most self-aware or grounded in the way that they're interpreting things right now. Okay. Whew. So this is what I see, group one. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about your person here. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey, group two, and welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Tarot of the Haunted House and the Bumblebee Jasper Crystal, this is going to be your reading. And today we're going to be looking into your person's issue with you. So let's go ahead and start by looking into kind of their energy toward you at this time. And then we'll get a breakdown of like how they view themselves, the connection, and your energy, just to try to get a sense of what the problem may be from their perspective, okay? So where they stand energetically, we have the Father archetype. And then we have Bride in a Cage. Okay. So the Father is like going to be, this could be like an older masculine figure in your life, a literal father for some of you, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. This is a very masculine archetype that I get here. But I feel like with this Bride in a Cage, there's something about like control or like power dynamics that could be a little bit off with this situation, you know, because this card sort of talks about like waiting and waiting and waiting and keeping yourself stuck. Time is passing you by, right? Waiting on the right moment, waiting on the right opportunity, and eventually you're withering away to nothing. Procrastination and stagnation could be kind of where this person stands toward you, just kind of watching you and letting life pass them by without taking any action. But the other kind of off dynamic that I'm getting from this for some of you guys, and take it as it resonates, and we'll kind of see in a moment here when we build into the tarot, but it's interesting that we have a father and a bride, a masculine and a feminine archetype here. And I feel like for some of you, this could be somebody who is trying to exert some level of power or control over you, keeping you stuck in like a metaphorical or mental cage in a sense, like a fear. Yeah. And as I'm tapping into that energy, I'm feeling a little discomfort in the pit of my stomach. It's like this fear of letting you out, this fear of you being exposed. Like I think there's definitely, for some of you, an element of control and insecurity behind them and the way that they view you and this dynamic here. Okay. So let's see. Group two. What else, Spirit, can you tell us about group number two and this person's issue with them? So let's go ahead and start with this person's energy and this connection. What's their issue, please, Spirit? We have the Moon. How do they view the connection? The Three of Pentacles reversed and the Five of Swords. How are they viewing group two? Three of Cups. Nine of Cups in reverse. I don't love this energy. Let's get into some clarifiers and then we'll break it down. Okay, Spirit. So tell us a little bit more about the energy between group 2 and this person and what the issue is from their perspective. We have addicted. Confident. Prideful. Okay. So I'm going to start by saying, you guys, I don't really think that this person is in a clear headspace when it comes to you and the way that they're looking at this connection, because the moon is telling me they're definitely not seeing something clearly. There could be a lot of projection going on here. And this person may even be struggling with mental health issues or substance abuse issues, or maybe even just attachment issues. You know, the Nine of Cups in reverse is showing me somebody who right now is not feeling fulfilled or satisfied or feeling like they're getting what they want. This energy does feel a little bit controlling to me, to be honest. And they're definitely not seeing something clearly. I wouldn't even be surprised if their behavior has been a little wild toward you. And that can be interpreted differently depending on the situation here. But I'm kind of being called to like the full moon energy in the moon and how we have the dogs kind of like barking, and you guys know like that whole metaphor, right? About the full moon brings out all the crazy behavior. It just feels like there is something about this person's mental health issues, addiction issues, or inner turmoil, whatever problems that they have beneath the surface. They're projecting that onto you and behaving in a way that's very like active or inappropriate to the situation, okay? This person, I think, is like, the way they're seeing this connection is that there's been conflict here. And it's petty with the Five of Swords. It's petty, it's backstabbing. There could have been arguing or fighting or passive aggressive tension between you guys from this person's perspective. Bullying energy as well. When I take a look at this Three of Pentacles, this is also showing that this person sees that there's a lack of teamwork or collaboration within this connection. And you know, we're asking their issue, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if this person shows up in this very petty, passive aggressive, or maybe aggressive way for some of you, not in a collaborative spirit of teamwork. Look at this. In this card, we have somebody who's been injured here. And the two people here are like looking to help. It's in reverse. This person is like not wanting to help. They're not wanting to, or don't have the capacity or the skills to kind of like come together as a team to like productively work through issues. And I think if you guys project a lot of confidence, it's interesting because we have this really bright yellow coming up as the crystal that you guys chose. And we have confident coming up as like the connection itself. Like it's possible that if you guys show up as being very confident, that this really triggers this person because it's like they want you in a cage. They don't think it's appropriate, or it triggers their insecurity. It threatens their ability to control or feel in control of the dynamics here. And this person might mistake this behavior, this Five of Swords behavior, as confidence. Like they might project a really bold kind of outward presentation, but they're very petty and spiteful and passive aggressive for a lot of you guys. Five of Wands, Swords can also talk about like when we're not being vulnerable, you know, so in a lesser extreme version of this reading, you guys could simply be dealing with someone who's like afraid of letting down their guard and being open-hearted with you, and instead maybe projects this more blocked off, like, oh, I'm confident. I don't need to let them know how I really feel because it's just like, you know, it's a protection tactic. So they play games, right? They could just be like a mental game player here and project this confidence that they don't actually have. And like how they're viewing you, we have the Three of Cups and prideful. Maybe you and this person party a lot together or drink together, or you could run in certain social settings. And there is something connected to your energy that this person feels like they get a lot of validation and pride from, right? Like when I feel this prideful energy, maybe they're seeing you guys as prideful in some capacity. I wouldn't be surprised if they think that because of the Five of Swords energy and the way that they're like clearly not seeing things accurately. But I also think there's something about you that might afford them status or validation. And when you're not giving that to them, when they're not in your circle or you're not in their circle, they don't feel whole, right? With the Nine of Cups in reverse. You know, there could also be something here about you guys, like maybe there is something about like your behavior when you guys go out or something like that. I'm noticing how she's like drowning in this water, like she's kind of gotten in over her head. So there could be something maybe about your behavior in social settings that this person gets embarrassed by or that they want to try to like contain as well. Okay, not saying that that's right, but I do think that could be a part of like coming back to this bride in the cage where it's like they want to contain what they perceive to be like wild or inappropriate behavior here. Okay. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about this person and their issue toward group 2? This is definitely heavy, guys. We have readiness, preparation, prompt, and arrangements here. Okay. It's almost like they feel like they have to be overly prepared. Let's see. We have protest, inadequacy, sue, and attention. Oops. We also have apology, guilt, confession, and forgiveness. Like, yeah, it's like maybe look at this compromise. There's fighting here. Maybe there's third party energy here for some of you. I don't know. But this person just is like, they feel like you owe them an apology or that there's some sort of confession or like something tied up in like social behavior that I think this person is feeling like they need like a validation for. Maybe there has been something that's happened here that this person, you know, had valid, reason to be upset, but it feels like they're holding it over your head. You know what I mean? And I think with the protest, this just kind of talks about like there's something really loud and vocal between you guys from their perspective where like this needs to be called attention to. But I don't think with the Five of Swords that it's being dealt with in the most like productive way. Maybe there's been like fighting and arguing and yelling and things like that. And this person, it's almost like they feel that they have to be on their guard. Sometimes the moon can come up as well, like when someone is feeling like something is a little bit off. Now, this person is being clarified by addicted, so I do think this person has their own issues that they need to address, and it's not all about you. I do think they could be projecting onto you, but I do feel like there's something going on over here with like your behavior socially or friendship-wise or something where like they feel like they have to kind of be on their high alert, So let's see. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about group 2 and this person's issues toward them at this time? Okay. Let's look at their energy. This person's energy first. We have yes, absolutely. And the energy, how they see my viewer, please. We have surrender. Yeah. So it's like they want they have affirmative feelings for you. I do think that this person, I think yes is confirming that what we've been picking up on is accurate, first and foremost. There is something here that they're affirmative on when it comes to this connection. Maybe whatever questions you guys might have in your head, Spirit is saying, yes, this is true. But they see you as surrender, not resisting, but going with the flow, may feel mentally and physically relaxed, letting go of judgment and being mindful of the present. Maybe with this Three of Cups, this person feels like you're too relaxed. The Three of Cups is a very playful, friendly energy. We're going out with our friends, we're partying. We're focused on fun and those more joyous but surface level interactions. This person feels a lot more serious with the father archetype, the bride in the cage. Especially I feel like you guys, if this is a romantic dynamic, I don't really feel like you and this person are on the same page when I look at the breakdown of the energy as this person sees it. It feels like they're more serious and you're more playful and just kind of wanting to go with the flow and have a more relaxed approach to things, where this person has a more controlled approach to things. Even if it's not romantic, there's just differences in the way that you guys are approaching the situation, right, that are causing friction here. So what we're going to do, group 2, to close this out is I want to pull some advice for you. So let's just kind of see what Spirit says in terms of how you move forward with this person. So Spirit, how should group 2 move forward with this situation? What's in their highest good? Truth be told. We have Death in reverse. So there's kind of a hesitancy to change something or to let something go. We have the Tower. Wow. And then we have a Hierophant card in reverse. I feel like you guys could be avoiding, if we see what's going on here, this is like an exorcism, right? And it's in reverse. So it's I feel like you guys might be kind of avoiding a really important truth about this connection, a toxic dynamic, either between you guys or within this person. There's a need to, I think, recognize whatever the unhealthy pattern, dynamic, or behavior is and let it out so that it can be addressed. Because what I see happening is a big Tower moment where this is all going to come crashing down around you, because there's this hesitancy to let go of what's been comfortable leading up into this point. And this is not showing me a very stable foundation for this dynamic, you guys. And so inevitably what ends up happening is that the Tower falls down because it's not built on something stable. And so as we keep laying these bricks on an unstable foundation, eventually it's going to come crashing down and it's going to be abrupt, right? And so there just seems to be a need, Spirit is saying, for you guys to kind of address and acknowledge what's not working here and to confront it and not be afraid of what needs to change, because it's going to come in anyway. So I think it's just a matter of do you want to be able to patiently and calmly navigate the change and have a little bit more autonomy over how it manifests, or do you want the universe to just do it for you? That's kind of what's coming through here. Okay. So this is what I'm seeing, group 2. Very interesting energy. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about what's been happening with this person. And I look forward to seeing you guys in another reading soon. Bye. Hello, my group 3 viewers, and welcome to your reading. So if you guys were drawn to the Everyday Witch Tarot and this black tourmaline crystal, this is going to be your message, and we're looking into your person's issue with you. So I want to get started. We're going to take a look at these energies first. These are going to represent your person's energy toward you at this time and kind of where they stand energetically with regard to the connection. And then we'll look into the tarot to try to see more specifically what the issue is from their perspective. I already feel like this is going to be a really heavy one, group 3, because you guys selected the black tourmaline, which is a grounding crystal. So maybe this is a connection for some of you guys where Spirit is saying we need to kind of ground this in reality, be really grounded and practical in the way that we're looking at this moving forward. But there's also, I think, been a lot of toxicity here because, black crystals are meant to absorb negativity. Okay, so there's been a lot of negativity, and maybe even if the toxicity hasn't been super overt or in your face, I think there's still something there to it. Okay. So let's take a look. Okay, so we've got the offering. And then we've got downcast pride is where they stand. Wow. Wow. Okay, hold on. So the first thing that I want to say, you guys, is I think that this person is in a place where they might be feeling depressed. They might be feeling a little bit dejected right now as it pertains to this connection. I feel like there's also like a sense of shame, low self-worth in this situation here. Because to be downcast is kind of like you're not in the best state of mind. Your spirits are low, you're feeling disheartened. This person might be the type of person that walks around with their head down a lot. Like, you know that expression of like walk with your head held high? Be proud of yourself, be proud of what you do. Maybe this person has things that they should feel proud of, but they don't feel it right now. So there's like a disconnect between how they feel inside versus what's maybe happening on the outside. And I definitely think this person feels like shame or inadequacy, or is just feeling like generally dejected here. Maybe they've been humbled recently. I don't know. The interesting thing about this is that we have the offering here, which makes me feel like this person is in a place where they know that they need to give you something. I feel really uncomfortable sitting in this energy. You know, the offering is something that could be positive, but this feels like it's connected to a very shameful energy. Like they feel shame or inadequacy. Like maybe this person feels that they owe you something. The offering can also come with strings attached too, on the shadow side, where it's like maybe this person gives, but they expect something in return. But more so what I feel is like this person is struggling with a lot of inner turmoil and shame and feelings of inadequacy as it pertains to this connection, and they feel like they need to give you something, like they owe you a debt. Okay, so let's continue group 3. Whew, this person is already like making me feel tired. So let's see. Spirit, help us understand this person's issue right now and what's going on from their perspective, so that group 3 can have the clarity that they need. So how does this person see themselves in this situation? What's going on here? The 10 of Wands. And the connection. How do they view the connection and the issue at play here? The 7 of Swords. And what about how they view my group 3 viewers and the issue at hand here? The Knight of Wands in reverse, or Swords in reverse. Knight of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Whew. It's heavy, you guys. Let me pull some clarifiers here. Tell me more, Spirit. What's happening from this person's perspective? Burdened and withdrawn showing here. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's how this person is showing up right now. What's their issue, Spirit, with group 3? All right, my friends. So, what is their issue with you? What is going on? So, again, I definitely think this person feels a lot of shame. Like they feel really guilty about something. They're feeling really inadequate here as it pertains to the way that they have shown up in this situation. I think that this person does feel like they might owe you something, or that there's been a lack of balance or harmony within this connection. But the first thing that I want to talk about is that this person with the 10 of Wands has been bearing a lot, right? They're feeling really tired. They're burdened, you guys. They've been carrying a lot on their shoulders. I don't know if this is specifically about you or if this is also like external factors in their life that they've been managing through, but they feel like they've been going at it alone and they have a lot of weight on them right now. And so maybe because of that, it's affected the way that they've shown up with you, right? Again, they feel like they owe you something, okay? And they feel ashamed or inadequate in the way that they've shown up here. But I think because they've had, like, this is the reason why, is because they've just felt so burdened. And so I think they are working through like healing right now, like forgiveness of, you know, like the shame that they feel. You know, but I definitely feel like I don't know, I definitely feel like there's something external to this connection that's bogging them down and making them feel exhausted. For some of you, this person maybe took on a lot in this connection and expected you to do more, right? Because the 10 of Wands, it's like they're carrying a lot here. And I don't think that they see you as particularly reciprocating. So this could be, again, why we have like the downcast pride and the offering. It's like there's something about giving and taking that I think has been really off in this dynamic from their perspective. And they might feel a level of shame of like, why did I act like that? Why did I allow myself to be taken advantage of? You know, like, why did I feel like I needed to take on the burdens of everything? I think with forgiveness here and all of this green energy, there's a lot of emotion that they have, like emotional burden that they feel about this situation that they've been carrying. Okay. So how they're viewing this situation, we have the 7 of Swords and Independent here. I think that from their perspective, like with this connection, maybe both people have been kind of out for themselves in a certain way, because the 7 of Swords is a very self-serving energy where we're not necessarily looping people into like what we're doing and why. We're just being strategic. We're moving in silence behind the scenes. And it's clarified by Independent here, right? So maybe they feel like there has been a disconnect in the way the two of you guys have been moving together as a unit, that you both have been just kind of like doing your own thing. But it's interesting that they see you as deceit, because the 7 of Swords also talks about deceit and deception. It doesn't mean that you guys literally have been deceitful and deceptive, but I do feel there's kind of like stagnated energy that they see on your end in terms of communication and forward movement here with the Knight of Wands. Like both of our action cards are in the reverse. Communication, ambition, and drive, and motivation, and passion, and energy, it's all blocked in terms of like how they're viewing you. And so it could be, you guys, that like this person has been like bearing the load or bearing the burden to like overcompensate for your perceived lack of engagement. It could be that they feel like maybe you guys withdrew your energy. I don't know, but there's definitely something here about like the balance of things. And I feel like there's also been dishonesty between you and this person with the 7 of Swords, where it's like somebody here is not being honest about how they really feel and what their motivations are here. Whew. All right. Tell me more, Spirit. What's going on with this person? What's their problem with group 3? We have Sweet Dream. I just think they're tired, you guys. I think they're tired. almost wonder if this person shows up out of duty, like the offering and the downcast pride, because they don't feel proud. Even though they've been carrying a lot, I feel like they don't feel proud of what they've done or the work they've put in or whatever burdens they're carrying. We have pride. Oh my gosh. Self-esteem, self-worth, and ego. Yeah. There's like that's what's coming through in the downcast pride. It's like this evasive energy of like, I'm not going to tell them how I really feel. I don't feel good enough about myself. I'm just going to avoid. I'm going to avoid vulnerability out of protection of my pride and my ego here. But they're tired, you guys. We have profession, expertise, omniscience, and talent. So it's interesting, right? Because I think, look, and then we have friendship, team, connection, and network. Like maybe you guys work together on a team or you know each other through each other's networks, whatever. But like they're seeing you as like a jack of all trades. Like you are able to successfully balance a lot of different competing priorities. They see you as an expert or they see you as being like really talented. And I just kind of wonder if you guys have, because maybe things have felt really imbalanced, like, again, this person feels ashamed of the way that they've showed up. They're acknowledging that they owe you something, right? And so maybe they see you guys as like pulling back your energy or ghosting them. Like your energy is no longer being put into them or directed toward them anymore. And maybe now they're shifting into picking up where they slacked before. This is heavy, you guys. All right, so let's see. How are they viewing the situation, Spirit? Tell me a little bit more about group 3, this person, and what their issue is. So let's take a look at this person's energy toward you. We've got Scorpio. Let's take a look at your energy toward them, how they see it. We have ego driven. That's interesting. Lots of energy about egos coming up, which is really interesting. So we've got Scorpio. It flew out like this, so I want to read the message. It says, I'm sorry for accusing you of things you didn't even do. I'm so used to people hurting me. I assumed you were just trying to hurt me too. I should have treated you better. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this person has really been misreading your intentions here. Because like they also have pride and ego issues. Like I feel like they're kind of projecting that onto you, right? Because they're seeing you as ego driven, acting in your own self-interest, driven by a need to prove yourself better than others, does not truly love the person, but loves what the person gives. So maybe for some of you, this person feels like you've acted in like a more self-serving way. And that is coming up here in the central energy of this connection with independent. Like what I feel is that we have a dynamic here from this person's perspective where they pick everything up and they're the resourceful one. They're the one that has to dig deep. They're the passionate one, right? They're the one that is like bearing the burden. And then you're over here maybe reaping the reward of their work. Like we're not working together. We're evading each other from their perspective. And they do see you as being very talented. But they're also seeing that you've pulled back your energy and they feel like a lot of heavy burden here. But it's possible, like, what I kind of feel for some of you guys is that there's been this person that's not shown up well in the past. Because again, they feel that they owe you something in return, or generosity with strings attached, right? Like they feel like it's their turn now to kind of bear the load. And I see them in that energy doing it, feeling exhausted about it. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you guys pulled back a little bit, because I think you guys have your hands in a lot of stuff. Like you seem to have like a lot of talents, or you can balance a lot. Maybe you guys just kind of ghosted or were like, I'm not really, I'm not helping with that. They can pick up that load. You know what I mean? It's just really interesting. So let's take a look, group 3. I want to see what advice Spirit has for you in terms of how you navigate this connection moving forward. So Spirit, what advice do you have for group 3 in terms of how they navigate this connection moving forward? The Devil keeps showing itself. I'll be interested to see if that comes out. Advice for group 3. We have the Lovers. Interesting. Okay. The 5 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. I think Spirit is saying it's time to make a decision. There's definitely a connection with this person, with the Lovers. I think that you feel a very strong magnetic pull to them, whether this is romantic, platonic, work, friends, whatever it is. There's a strong energetic pull here. And I actually think that you and this person could be better together if the energy were to support that between you. But does this person trigger your abandonment issues? Is there something about self-worth that needs attention here? Is this person somebody who brings you down instead of lifts you up? Like, they have self-worth issues for sure. I don't know so much about you guys because we're looking at it kind of from their perspective, which may not necessarily be accurate to the truth of what is, right? But the 5 of Pentacles can talk about feeling less than, feeling marginalized, feeling unsupported, left out in the cold. I feel like there is something about this connection that triggers that stuff for you. The other thing that I'm seeing is the Church, right? Sometimes with this card, there is an element of pride that comes into it because it's like we have support here if we choose to go inside and get it. But sometimes with the 5 of Pentacles, it's like we don't feel worthy of the support. We don't feel like we deserve it for some reason. And I'm wondering if there's some sort of connection there to that for you, group 3. Where it's like, maybe you need support. Maybe you need to ask for help. This person, I think, is like that too. You guys could be mirroring that in each other. But it feels like there's a choice that needs to be made. And I also really feel like you and this person are not really working together, right? It feels like you're both on very different pages here in terms of like energy and effort and who's doing what. And there's a lot of deception here. And a lack of vulnerability to kind of like talk about how we're feeling. It's like we're just going to push it down and be evasive, you know? And I feel like when I'm looking at this, they're joining hands. They've got their cats here, joining tails. And there's this beautiful magic between them that I think could be possible with you and this person. But it's like it's going to take a more vulnerable conversation of like letting the egos drop, letting the pride drop, and like let's ask each other for help. Let's ask each other for what we actually need from each other in order to move forward in a positive direction here where neither one of us is feeling drained or exhausted, because I feel like there's a lot of that here with you guys. So this is what I see, group 3. Very interesting energy. Comment below. Let me know what's been happening between you and this person. And I look forward to seeing you in another reading soon. Bye.